Oh, yeah, it would help if I had press play, right? Doesn't matter anyway. You know who it is. It's Zeus Cruz of Olympia Multimedia, giving you another segment of Get Things Done. In this particular segment, kind of alluded to what we're going to talk about in a very embarrassing way. I apologize. But we're going to be talking about stereo headphones, versus stereo speakers or studio monitors, however you want to label them or classify them as. It's totally up to you. But we're going to be discussing, I use the word versus, but in actuality, there's really no cons when it comes to using either or. It's pretty much all pros. It's just up to you as a producer, as an engineer, as you go about your music production and you hear the playback, the method that you need that's best for you so that you can hear every piece within your music production to make sure that everything comes out accordingly to how you want it. So if you're looking at stereo headphones, again, I always recommend for you guys to do your research. This brand that I have here is called Rockville. It's definitely a brand that I recommend. But again, please do your research because there's so many different brands out there. I will recommend though, or I will suggest, there are stereo headphones out that are cheaply made. So it pretty much goes without saying, if you go the cheap route, you may not have so much in your budget. You're going to get the less quality that you need to actually hear your production in the way that it needs to be heard. So definitely make sure that whatever brand that you end up getting, that there are stereo headphones, studio headphones. And this would allow you to hear in stereo or mono, depending on how you record. And the thing about these is it allows you to have more detailed sound, especially when you utilize EQ into your production. You can actually hear it in its fullness by using the headphones. It's more personal. You have it on to your ears. You click the playback. You listen to what's coming through. And then you could kind of get a really good understanding of your production and how you're going about things with it. The obvious thing is it's portable. So if you're a producer on the go, clearly these are going to be your method of listening to your playback and listening to your music. There's no need for acoustic treatment, which means you don't utilizing these does not have to be in a setting where it allows you to it has to be soundproof. If you're willing to pay a little bit more money in your budget, you actually have some studio headphones that have like the noise and the echo cancellation technology built into it, where you really can get grasped the sound that is penetrating or permeating through your headset or your headphones. And then last but not least, the cost. You could get some decent stereo headphones for anywhere between $80 and $100, which is not bad at all. So I don't know why you would want to go the cheap route, but I don't think $80 or $100 is too much money to get yourself a quality brand. Again, just do your research, find the one that's best for you. But some producers tend to want to check out some studio monitors, studio or stereo speakers, and utilize that in their studio. These are great as well. As far as the cost, they cost a little bit more than getting yourself a standard stereo headphones. To get a decent pair, you're probably going to look between about $150 and $200 to get a decent pair. This one that I have is called PAL. But again, do your research. There's so many different brands, all kinds of different technologies and whatnot that's built into it. And you use what's best for you, especially in the room that you're in, the setting that you're in. As you can see, guys, this studio is not as big, so I don't need anything that kind of high tech with that much wattage for, to encompass what I'm trying to do over here when I am producing. But if you're working in a bigger area, you probably want to, again, look into finding something that can radiate the sound a little bit more, so it makes sure that, you're hearing everything that you need to hear. Studio monitors are more accurate, a little bit more accurate than using the headphones. You get more of a wide range as far as your total production. You can hear more the high end and the low end if you're adding effects or something in the background, maybe some lighter pieces of sound through there, like a synth or some type of Vox sample or some form of audio sample. It'd probably be best to hear it through here instead of hearing it through your headphones. And then if you're using specific effects like delay, reverb, compression, distortion, those are like the four main ones, pretty much the bread and butter when you come to producing. These are the effects that are the main ones that most people use. It's best if you are inputting it into your production that you should hear it through your monitors and not your headphones. So just to give you a quick little what I'm talking about, you guys are going to be privileged to some new content that Alpha Omega is working on. Shout out to my partner Jay. But this will give you a quick glimpse of what I'm talking about as far as the quality and the fullness of the sound going through your monitors. Make sure we're all good here. And we are. So let's check it out.
You know your life is just a dream, don't you?
So, it pretty much goes without saying, the spectrum in which you're hearing, the sounds, the music, the production that's coming out of the monitors is just a little bit more in depth compared to if I was just playing it through the stereo headphones. You got to hear everything that was going on there. Obviously, in the beginning of the beat, you heard sort of like a skit that we produce. We're trying to create this kind of ambience, create this kind of vibe before the melody drop. But you can hear everything in its clarity, get an understanding of your high end, your low ends, everything that's incorporated. Everything is spaced out accordingly to allow you to really encompass your production, and then you could go ahead and make the necessary changes. So I think that's it. Just wanted to give you guys just a quick overview. My recommendation is to use both, not just one. It's more personal, especially if you're just adding certain little things to your production. It would be best to use the stereo headphones. But if you want to encapsulate your entire production and get a good listen to what you just produced, I suggest you get the stereo speakers or monitors. All right. So in the end, the choice is yours. I'm just here to just give you a little bit of whatever it is I'm trying to do here. Anywho, that's about it. So I'm glad you guys tuned in. You know who it is. It's Zeus Cruz of Olympia Multimedia. And the only thing left to say is get things done. Check you later. Let me see. Put this on over here.